It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Oh, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and it is Monday morning, unmistakably Monday. You can't miss it. It's the start of yet another work week. And I kind of have this feeling on Mondays like it's, you've been at a roller coaster, right? And it slowly goes up this first hill, and it's ready to go downhill and go boom, and here you go. So that's the start of the work week on Monday. Yes, sir. It was a beautiful weekend. Man, was it gorgeous this weekend. I would say, I vote that this is probably the best weekend we have had this year so far. It was beautiful both days. Ideal for anything you wanted to do outdoors. It was beautiful. The sun was out. It was nice and warm. Blue skies. The Dodgers had a good weekend on Sunday. They won a doubleheader against the Mansfield Destroyers, 10-3 and 4-zip. That is pretty good. That's very, very good. It was a great weekend for the Dodgers. And let me see, what else? Oh, early this morning. It was clear this morning. I'm talking like 2 o'clock. It was a clear sky, beautiful clear sky. The moon was somewhere, I think, in the southeast, low in the southeast, the sky this morning. And we have a bunch of solar lights in our garden. So the fireflies are out too this morning. So I'm sitting outside having a cup of coffee, and between the solar lights and the fireflies and the moon, it was like a light show. I mean, it was gorgeous this morning. It was really, really a beautiful morning. That was this weekend. Now, this happened on Friday. I know, it's before the weekend. It was Friday. But this is a cautionary tale. And we're not the only ones that this has happened to, I'm sure, my wife and I. Okay, in the first place, how did this start? This was all in a matter of like 3 hours. I was on the net, and I was going to print out a story. It seemed like a pretty interesting story, so I'm going to print it. And I right-clicked and hit print. And all of a sudden, all these pop-ups. Boom, boom, boom. Your C drive is out of date. Your E drive needs repair. Your hard drive is going to crash. Click here, click there, do this and do that. And I'm saying, where did all these pop-ups come from? And every time I tried to click out of them, more would pop up, right? So your C drive needs repair. I remember that one. And a bunch of other drives need repair immediately, And I'm going, this can't be right. Everything's fine. I know everything's fine. Where's this stuff coming from? So I'm trying to back out of it. Won't let me back out. Won't let me go forward. Won't let me go backward. Can't click out of these things. So I said, you know what? This computer needs a timeout. It's being very bad. I just unplugged it. And everything stopped, right? So maybe 10 minutes later, I go back and plug it in, and it's gone. And so we called our IT guy. And I mean, all these things are on our history now, right? All these little the pop-ups. So our IT guy, who was an absolute whiz, this guy knows computers, wowee. And he checks out to the history, and he says, boy, are you lucky that you didn't click on any of this stuff. And I said, well, why is that? He says, well, if you did, near as I could determine, it would probably have allowed whoever was sending these pop-ups to access your computer. And I said, oh, wow. Okay, that's very good. So there was an attempted ripoff, right? But I didn't do it, and everything's fine. So then, about an hour later, the phone rings. Now, we get a lot of these one ring and hang up, and one ring and hang up, and there's nobody there, and it's stupid because if it was important, they'd call back or leave a message, so we don't even bother. But the phone rang once, and then it rang again, and then it rang again. So my wife goes, well, it might be a real call. Who knows? So she answers to the phone. Now, I don't hear the other end. All I hear is my wife's side of the conversation. And she says, oh, really? Oh, yeah? Uh-huh. Fine. That's fine. I'll see you. Bye. And I said, well, what was that about? Because normally she's not curt on the phone. She has very good phone manners. I don't, but she does. And she says it was a woman who claimed to be from Social Security, and she said that they were going to file suit against us. Now, Social Security isn't going to call you and tell you that they're going to file suit against you. Clearly, that was a ripoff. So that was another one. Now that's okay. That's first came the computer, and then came some phony scam call from Social Security, which of course it wasn't from, of course. And then what happened then? Oh yeah. Then about an hour later, this is all in the span of 3 hours, I got a call from a bank. And they say that someone has used or tried to use my debit card to make a purchase from, who was it? Barnes & Noble. And it seemed suspicious. And I'm going, well, okay, I really don't buy anything from Barnes & Noble. But still, I mean, I don't know. So she says, so we have frozen your debit card. So right now, I don't have a debit card. Okay? I have other cards, but I don't have this specific debit card. So somebody tried to use my debit card. And they're going, well, wait a minute now. I always have my debit card in my wallet. And it's never, ever, ever out of my sight. And I have a metal wallet. So it acts like a Faraday box. In other words, you can't scan this card through the wallet. So I'm going, let me see. They couldn't have scanned it because it's in a metal box, essentially. And it's never out of my sight, even when I use it at a store. It's never out of my sight. But apparently, in some magical fashion, somebody got a hold of my debit card number. And then way at the end, now this lady had a very nice manner about her, and I'm sure about her, and I'm sure it's on the level. But way at the end of the conversation, the end of the conversation, she said, well, what's your password? And I went, You know what? I think maybe I'll go to the bank on Monday and see if I could take care of this in person. And that was the end of the conversation. So either one or two things. Either someone did lift my credit or debit card number. I don't know how they did that. Who knows? Or the call itself was a scam. So either the call or the debit card were a scam. And this was all in 3 hours. I mean, in 3 hours, we were hit like 3 times in 3 hours. Holy mackerel. I mean, really? So, as I said, it's a cautionary tale. It can happen to anyone. And that's how Friday was. Okay, let me see. That's takes care of that, takes care of this. Yeah, you got to be really careful. I mean, the world is full of snakes. It really is. So, let me see here. Did you see yesterday's Spectator, the front page above the fold? Alstom may play role in zero emissions future. Hydrogen cell trains could be introduced in coming years. This is the story is by Jason Jordan. And it's about hydrogen-powered trains. Hydrogen-generated electric-powered trains called Hydrail. And apparently Alstom is in the process of considering partners to bring zero-carbon emission hydrogen-generated electric-powered trains, Hydrail, to America for the first time. And this could be epic. I mean, this could be epic. This probably is the future of rail transportation. And Alstom may play a major role. How do you like that? On top of what Alstom's already involved in, the high-speed train, this could be major, major big news. And I did a little bit of background reading on hydrogen-powered trains. And, I don't know what website I found this on. All I printed out was one page. Normally, I'll have where I got something from. But anyway, it's called the Coradia iLint. Coradia iLint is the name of the train. And it features, let me see. Okay. The Coradia iLint will feature a motor that gains its power from a hydrogen tank and a fuel cell. It says stored in a tank, the hydrogen's chemical energy will be converted into electricity by the fuel cell, propelling the train at up to 87 miles an hour. Okay, that's not a high-speed train, but any energy not used immediately is stored in lithium batteries attached to the bottom of the car. And that produces nothing but steam as a byproduct. Just steam, water vapor. The motor will run far more quietly and cleanly than a diesel engine. And what's more, the train's new fuel source will effectively make it carbon neutral. And that's because, it says here, that's because the hydrogen it will use is already created as a waste product by the chemical industry, among other manufacturers. Typically, this hydrogen is simply burned So using it to power trains would not place any new additional burden on the environment. I mean, this is clean energy. The only byproduct is steam. Isn't that amazing? I think that's really, really cool. So you could have these trains running on hydrogen. I think that's absolutely amazing. You know, I was back in New York from California on vacation. I flew back. I drove back twice. I was on vacation 3 times, twice by car and once by plane. And I'll tell you, it was a lot more fun by car. It really was. But so I was flying back from New York to Fresno. And the plane was over Nevada. And this is how dirty the environment is. The plane was over Nevada. And the pilot comes on the intercom and says, if you look out the port side, the left side of the plane, okay, look out the left side of the plane, and way in the distance over there, you'll see this brown blob. He says, that is Los Angeles. That's how dirty the air in Los Angeles was. Now, this was in 79, I think, or 1980. It was a while ago, so I'm sure it's gotten a little cleaner, maybe. But there was this huge, dirty-looking brown blob way in the distance, and that was Los Angeles. And everything, beautiful blue sky, gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky. It was just beautiful, except this ugly brown blob. That's Los Angeles. Actually, it really is. It's kind of a metaphor, really. Anyway, so that was Los Angeles. So the air is, it's pretty dirty, and something like hydrogen power is amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing, and it would be great for Alstom. And so, I think that's pretty good news. And speaking about rail trains, this was from CNN. Small slug throws Japan's high-speed rail into chaos. This slug is about an inch long. And it says here on the story, a single small slug has been blamed for a massive power failure that brought part of Japan's high-speed rail network to a standstill last month. An estimated 12,000 passengers were delayed on May 30th after power was cut on lines operated by rail company, not speaking Japanese, I have no idea. Anyway, in the southern part of Japan. And the company had to cancel 26 trains carrying 12,000 passengers. Apparently, this little teeny slug, let me see, where is it here? According to a company spokesman, the slug had fried itself after touching an electrical cable, leading to the mass power failure. And the little slug got into some electrical equipment, and that was the end of the slug. So a spokesman for the company told CNN that the slug had got in through a gap in the power box. And a spokesman for the company said, we have not heard of power outages caused by slugs in recent years. So there you go. I don't know. So that's the little slug, and that's it. It was all over. Hey, insurance. We have auto insurance and life insurance and homeowners insurance and renters insurance. You never know when you will need insurance. Very important. And renters insurance. If you're a renter, you need insurance too. Always be on the safe side. And the Ryan agencies, with insurance offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville, are your local independent insurance agency. You can save smart on all your insurance needs with the Ryan Agency.
New to golf or seasoned veteran, you'll enjoy the casual, relaxed atmosphere of Vanderview Golf Course. 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road, Vanderview is a 9-hole executive-length golf course with a driving range on one side of the road and the course on the other. Family-friendly and fun recreation for everyone. Greens fees are one price for unlimited play, $9.50. High school students, only $5. Children 12 and under with an adult, no charge. You can play up to 18 holes or 9 holes with a cart and get the second 9 holes at no additional charge. Ladies and senior golfers who don't hit the long ball, Vanderview's got the executive length that's just right for your game. And new this year, a season pass for only $100. That's a lot of golfing fun for a very little bit of money. Vanderview Golf Course, 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road. Vanderview Golf Course.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NBA, where Yahoo Sports is reporting that, as expected, Toronto Raptors star Kawhi Leonard will decline the player option on his contract for next season and become an unrestricted free agent. Leonard could still decide to stay in Toronto with the Raptors, who are the only team that could offer him a max contract for 5 years and $190 million. The Lakers, Clippers, Knicks, and Nets are also thought to be in the running to land the two-time Finals MVP. In baseball games of note, the Dodgers walk off with a 6-3 win over the Rockies for the third straight game. The Dodgers get a walk-off home run from a rookie, this time a 3-run shot from Will Smith. It's the first time in baseball history a team's ever done that, and LA's won 6 in a row. Cubs over the Mets 5-3. Javier Baez hit the go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th inning for Chicago. Brewers beat the Reds 7-5, so Chicago still holds a half-game lead on Milwaukee for the top spot in the NL Central. Astros wrap up a win over the Yankees 9-4 in a battle of division leaders. That was the finale of a 4-game series, and Houston avoids the sweep with that victory.
From the Fox Business Network, FedEx is cutting prices to online businesses to attract new contracts. FedEx is ending its relationship with Amazon later this month. The Wall Street Journal says FedEx will offer merchants 2-day air for the same price as shipping by ground. El Dorado Resorts has a deal to merge with Caesars Entertainment. Reuters says it's a cash and stock deal worth about $18 billion. Former Toys R Us executive Richard Barry appears to be moving forward with his plan to open some Toys R Us stores and a website before Christmas. Isaac Larian, CEO of toy company MGA Entertainment, says he'll sell inventory to the business. MGA makes Bratz dolls and LOL surprise toys. However, the new Toys R Us is expected to include only a half dozen stores. The Dow was down 34 on Friday. NASDAQ dropped 19, S&P down 3. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Summer is here, and Matt's got the barbecue out all ready to grill. That's why he trusts Super Polygrip, so he can enjoy his steak with full confidence.
Polygrip.
Sounds like there's a party going on, but something's missing. The birthday gal's arrived, and thanks to Polydent, her bright smile is anything but a surprise.
Polydent.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, drive away in a new Nissan Murano lease for only $299 a month. A new 2019 all-wheel drive Nissan Murano S model with a 3.5 V6 engine, 18-inch alloys, forward collision warning, lease with no money down for $299 a month for 36 months. Only tax and DMV fees are due at signing. Shop Simmons-Rockwell.com.
And we're back. Let me say, last Thursday at the end of the show, I mentioned I was going to tell you about an attack squirrel. And Friday's show came and I never got around to it, so this is Monday and now I do it here. Let me see. This is from AP. Authorities, Alabama man fed meth to a caged attack squirrel. Anyway, this was in Athens, Alabama. They got a tip that this guy was dealing drugs, and they got a search warrant based on what they found out. And they went to serve the search warrant, entered the guy's home, and they were attacked by a squirrel, who they suspect was being fed methamphetamine to ensure it stayed aggressive. Now, what kind of a person would feed a squirrel methamphetamine? I mean, there are some weird people out there. Wow. Anyway, so so they finally corralled this
Jonathan,
attack. Huh?
What kind of squirrel would use methamphetamines?
I know. Probably, on an IQ level, the squirrel was probably higher than the guy. You know what I mean? Or something. Anyway,
it is a sick thing to do. I'm just
so they finally got the squirrel corralled in some fashion and put him in a cage, and this squirrel was like attacking these bars. I mean, it was chewing on these bars and clawing. The squirrel was obviously out of its mind. Of course, methamphetamine, there you go. So let me see. I thought they would have taken the squirrel to maybe a veterinarian or maybe an animal shelter to try to bring it down from this methamphetamine. But no, they released the animal in the wild. So I don't know how the squirrel's doing, and they still haven't found this guy. But as soon as they do, he faces a lot of charges, including being an idiot and a dope. So, speaking of squirrels, you've heard of Bernie Sanders and his plan to cancel $1.6 trillion in U.S. student loan debt. So he has this plan where he wants to wipe out all student loan debt held by 45 million Americans. Quite a strong voting bloc, eh? Boy, there's a lot of voters there. 45 million of them, yes, sir. So how is he going to pay for it? How is somebody going to pay for it? Sanders is proposing to pay for these plans with a tax on Wall Street. His campaign says will raise more than $2 trillion over 10 years. And he calls it truly a revolutionary proposal. And he's probably exactly right there. Revolutionary. You got it. So where would that money ultimately come from? If you tax Wall Street, let me see. The money would probably ultimately come from, where would it come from? Okay, fine. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.
This is Kurt Crandall, and I'm asking for your